Now, when I think about this first planet that I'm going to talk about today, it actually makes me think about a reality show that I watched. I actually binged watched it. I didn't watch it when it actually came out. I think my sister mentioned it to me, and there's just so many shows out there on the television and so many shows to watch, especially reality shows, and I just can't watch everything and be a productive adult. So I'd never watched it, but I just happened to have one sometime, maybe on a Sunday evening or something like that, and I was flipping through on demand and I saw the show and I decided, okay, I will go ahead and take a look to see what the show is about. I actually didn't start at the beginning. I started maybe at the third episode because I guess for some reason that seemed a little more interesting to me. But I started watching it and I ended up watching the full season, just not all on that same day, but just I ended up watching the full season on demand. So that reality show is actually a show on OWN, which the show is called Listing Atlanta. I don't know if you've ever heard of that before, but it is a reality show and it's about a group of women whose careers are connected to real estate. Some of them are actual realtors and others are like closing attorneys. And so they kind of work, some of them work together exclusively. Like a realtor may work with a specific closing attorney every time. And so there's a couple of closing attorneys on there. And then a lot of the rest of them are realtors. And so they don't necessarily work together in the same firm or anything like that. But they're in the same community and they know each other. It appears anyway, at least for the purposes of the show. And so they interact during the show, and then they talk, a little bit about their properties that they're selling, have listed, or we're mostly working with buyers from what I saw. So why did I bring this particular show up? Well, most of the women on the show, it turns out, are Libras. How do I know that? Believe it or not, it wasn't because I looked it up. It was because they mentioned it more than once on the reality show during that season. Actually, 4 out of 6 of the women on the show, which is about 66% of the cast for that show, are Libras. And as I said, they mentioned it quite a bit. As a matter of fact, I believe there's one episode where they had a little outing because all of their birthdays are around the same time in October. And they decided to go like horseback riding or some little event. It didn't work out very well. It's a reality show. You expect that much. They are not 100% on one accord, on the same page, and they kind of have a little falling out between them. Some words exchanged that were, I guess, either misunderstood, misinterpreted, or just plain taken the wrong way. But in total, even though all of these women are Libras, 4 out of 6 of them, some of them act quite different. Now, if you've watched this show, you can always, comment or send me an email and let me know that you've seen the show. But even though most of them are Libras, they do not all act the same. They don't seem to have 100% the same personality. You've probably experienced this yourself. You can know 2 people of the same sign, and they seem completely different. On this show, one seems to be kind of patient, calm. Another one, she's kind of calm, but she's also like super friendly. Wants everyone to be comfortable and feel liked and, be nice and all of that stuff. And then there's another one who is super ambitious and really polished. Hair, nails, makeup, clothes, always sought to be 100% on point. And then there's another one who is a live wire, like total live wire. It's like they never know what's going to come out of her. And during the season, some pretty, I don't want to say unusual, because it probably wasn't unusual to her, but some actions of hers really stood out and caught people's attention in ways that I would say are probably not characteristic of the sign Libra. if you've seen this show, you probably kind of have an idea which ones are which that I just described. But that's pretty typical. When you see people of the same sun sign, they will not all act the same. But in this particular situation, when you look at the fact that they're a Libra, that describes a general personality, and they probably all have some aspects of that. So you may think, dream, imagine, hope to be 1,000 things, but your sun is who you are. That's supposed to be who you are, what you are. And by the house, the sun position shows where our personalities shine. I've said before, I believe I said in another episode, the house, the planet is the what, and the house is the where. So the house is where that energy, those issues, are whatever the topic at hand brought up by the planet, and the aspects or the relationships that planet makes to other planets. That's where it shows up in that house. So the areas of life associated with that house reveal the type of experiences that contribute to our sense of individuality, and they shape our sense of pride and basically who we are. So when you think about the sun, I want you to think about that as well. Even as I described those 4 different women, they're clearly different women, even though all 4 of them are Libras. They're clearly very different women in terms of like how they present themselves, what's important to them, where they are in their lives, how they interact with people, how they view people. Some of those things have nothing to do with their sun in Libra. But there's a general presentation that is associated with Libra that to some extent they probably all have. And so that's what I want you to think about when you're thinking about your own sun sign. Think about the fact that it's a general presentation of what you are and how you present yourself. But there's other nuances to it that will separate you from other people that have the same sun sign as you.